Respected learned delegates from across country and continent and academia, a very good evening to one and all. I am Masihullah Bangalore, and I feel privileged to welcome you all on the behalf of the organizing committee of Nanoland Limited and its Tomorrow News. I thank you all for sparing your precious time and being part of this webinar organized by Nanoland Limited, its Tomorrow News, and co-organized by LD College of Engineering, Gujarat Technological University, Xavier's Research Foundation. This webinar is sponsored by MQA, Weissmaker, Reinzer, Aqua, Rotary Club of Ahmedabad Elite. Today we have gathered to share our knowledge and ideas with our peers from diverse scientific research fields on learning its tomorrow, frozen or molten Earth. Now, moving forward, I would like to brief about our organizers and co-organizers and sponsors. Nanoland Limited. Nanoland Limited is an eminent research organization based in Ahmedabad. They are mainly focused on climate change, clean energy, and sustainable development. They have a pool of research associates with diverse backgrounds affiliated with them to work day and night studying the various parameters of Earth and its components. It's Tomorrow News. It's Tomorrow News is an online weather news channel featuring mainly related to the news of climate change, weather, and scientific documentaries. It hosts interviews, podcasts with various eminent persons with scientific backgrounds. LD College of Engineering. Lalbhai Dalpatbhai College of Engineering, Ahmedabad is a premier government engineering institute in Gujarat set with the objectives of imparting higher education, research, and training in various fields of engineering and technology. The institute is affiliated with Gujarat Technological University, Ahmedabad, and is administered by the Department of Technical Education, the Government of Gujarat. LD College of Engineering was established on the 20th of June 1948 as one of the first few engineering colleges in India. Xavier Research Foundation. The Xavier Research Foundation Trust runs the Loyola Center for Research and Development, an autonomous institute which was established in the year of 1987 in College Ahmedabad. Its goal is to do research in science and technology and the humanities. The center not only employs scientific staff dedicated to research, but also provides infrastructural support and expertise to students working on the frontline research fields in the environmental microbiology and plant biotechnology. The mission of the center is to target grassroots communities on the fringe of our economy. And through innovation, entrepreneurship, training, and hand-holding, setup is moving towards the production of units, medium, small, and micro levels. The next we have is Gujarat Technological University. Gujarat Technological University is a premier academic and research institution that has driven new ways of thinking since its 2007 founding, established by the government of Gujarat. Today, Gujarat Technological University is an intellectual destination that draws inspired scholars to its campus, keeping GTU at the nexus of ideas that challenge and change the world. GTU is a state university with 486 affiliated colleges in its fold, operating across the state of Gujarat through its 5 zones at Ahmedabad, Gandhinagar, Vallabh Rajkot, and Surat. The university has about 400,000 students enrolled in a large number of diploma, undergraduate, postgraduate programs, along with a robust doctoral program. Next, we have Weissmaker. Weissmaker Eco Private Limited is a prominent entity involved in manufacturing of its variant products, like prominent electromagnetic water conditioner that helps in softening water by removing the ions that make the water hard, and in most cases, calcium and magnesium ions. This Weissmaker water conditioner comes with an easy installation, consumes less power, and is easily customizable. The next we have is Reinzer Aqua. Reinzer Aqua is one of the type of expert in cleaning solar panels automatically, easing human efforts, thus increasing the efficiency of solar panels by cleaning the dust and dirt with cost-effective technique. The next we have is MQA. MQA is actually a product of Weissmaker. Next we have is Rotary Club of India Elite. Rotary Club of Ahmedabad Elite is an active club of Rotary international organization having played important role in various emerging issues and helps to find a solution by serving the society. The club is actively working on various sectors including environment, education, and women's healthcare development. This club has been serving its since 2010 with various prominent personalities from the city of Ahmedabad. We thank and extend our full support to the Rotary Club of Ahmedabad Elite for their noble cause. I extend a big thank you to our organizers, our co-organizers, for felicitating this event. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would request you to be prepared for the next speaker of the day, Dr. Narayan Dhakal. Dr. Narayan Dhakal is to address our esteemed participants of the international webinar. He works as an independent climate action research, education, and outreach consultant. He has worked in information technology and software quality assurance. He has been a part of the community mobilization in saving the environment from changing human behavior. He's a PhD holder in conservation science. He also possesses a postgraduate diploma in parks, recreation, and tourism. He is the CEO and owner of Diversity Intelligence in Climate Action. Over to you, Dr. Narayan. Dhakal, sir.
Thank you. Thank you giving me this opportunity. It's wonderful to see the earlier presentation. And in fact, I was a little bit confused to how do I frame my presentation? And I was thinking about frozen water and melting water, but in fact, you guys are talking whole frozen earth and molten earth. So I live in Minnesota, and so some of the thing I personally experienced, like just a while ago, polar vortex that we are experiencing here in the winter. Sometimes polar vortex declared, and we are not allowed to go outside. At the present time, there is a heat warming so high we cannot go outside. So we are living in extreme in the climate change. So my presentation is, okay, so I talk about this Mount Annapurna, which is in Nepal, the fourth highest peak. And the people believe that if this snow all melt down, then we'll be in acute hunger. So there is a belief system, and then they have a fear that due to climate change, if this mountain snow would melt down and then flows down below. So that is the people are believing. And I used to work with this organization a long time ago, and then we were doing extremely good work in there, that mobilizing community in terms of saving the environment and saving how we have to how we can contribute to the environment, and all those kind of things we were doing at that time. And then so today's I will talk mainly on I touch upon a little bit of climate change, and then loss of livelihoods, and I'll talk a little bit about water and science versus social science and ancient wisdom, food and water energy, and what would be the next things that we have to do. So this is the we are spewing that temperature rise, I mean the pollution into the atmosphere, and as a result that a lot of people know that I don't have to explain more detail about that. The earth, why earth temperature is heating up. So as a result, we are having this type of problem, the continuous flood, drought, forest fire, and then experiencing throughout the world. It's not only in the Western world, even in in the Asia, in Eastern world, everywhere is happening. And then the immense property damage in terms of physical property, health, and then food resources, all is going down due to this climate change. And for our part in Asia, there is we call the glacial lake outburst flood. And some scientists have developed some kind of alert mechanism that if some flood is coming high stream, then you can, at least you can save life, but the damage of properties like infrastructure, bridges, roads, and buildings, so it will be a massive expenses for the people that poor people cannot bear with that. So why this is happening is when we raise temperature into the atmosphere, the Earth sea level water vapor intensely rise up, and then when it cooled and it has a flood, and then everything goes down. So the main
Dr.
reason
Nefal,
that, okay, so these are the damages in Asia. I talk about Gulf, that glacial lake outburst. This is the result that why you're having such a massive disaster, because when we increase the temperature of the sea level, and then water evaporates when it cools down, and then the intensity of water is high. So that is the result of having flood, and then damaging the earth environment and the life and property. So there is a story that there is how water form is scientifically, there's a fusion of hydrogen and oxygen, and then there is somebody talk about volcanic eruption made huge evaporation up in the atmosphere, and it cooled down, it dropped as a water. And somebody also believed that meteorite hit into the earth and then created water. And there is a cultural story in the Asian story, like I am from Nepal, and then there were people in my country who used to talk about like some sages meditated, and then the water came, and then the Lord Shiva said that I would bear this water. And then the whole landscape in Asia, like Mount Everest to even the Gangetic floodplain, the whole landscape is believe this kind of stories. And then it is nothing wrong to visualize that. And then when we talk about environment and then environmental education, these stories should be so immense. And as I remember from my mother used to say that life originates from 5 elements: air, water, fire, soil, and space, and we thrive on that. And my mother died when I was 13, and during that cremation, that she was telling, everything was visible. So due to these elements, then we have been able to survive, and there is a plant we can grow, and then there is a food we can grow, we can get, and then we can eat. So that is the system, natural system being thrived in the atmosphere if we maintain the environment good. When you talk about environment, there is a science versus social science. Social science I'm a conservation biologist, but my topic and my research is more on social science. And we talk about, sometimes there is a disparity between these two sciences. Normally, the politician doesn't like social science much because we talk about manage, save, distribute, and justify, and change human behavior, and advocates for balancing nature. But other science sometimes totally alienated, focus toward development and produce, market, earn, consume kind of thing, and then doesn't care about much on the environment. And politicians love those kind of science because it brings money. So these are the constraints in terms of science. But the next generation, like how do we balance that? Is next science? How do you make next science better? is whether you would like to make appropriate or misappropriate. If you make if you want to make science appropriate, then you must reduce carbon emissions, maintain self-help, well-being, and help others, embrace traditional wisdom and culture within the science, and then mutual inclusion with every being, not only human being, but there is so many beings in the planet Earth. So how could we include each other? And then if misappropriated, then again prolonged disaster, continued threat to the war and violence, artificial creation and co-creation is not a natural creation. You can make robot to work in the field, in the factory, and failed humanities if science become misappropriated again. Uh, Let me talk about my remembrance with Veerbhadra Mishra. Professor Mishra was hydrologist in Banaras Hindu University. We were in Sydney. He was a chief guest, and then he delivered some kind of speech that it was still intrigued on me that how to balance science and culture. So he, as a professor, he used to take holy dip in the Ganges every day, but he didn't infect it with the coliform bacteria. But even though the river was so polluted, so his view was just don't hate water, don't hate rivers, just love river, and then try to clean that. So he gave a very good speech there, and we flew together from Sydney to Singapore. And during that time, I have some ambiguity within my religion myself. And Professor Veerbhadra was very kind to help me understand what those ambiguities were. And it was such an excellent moment. And then his advocation at that time was love and value water, reduce pollution, and science and spirituality must go together. And we all together need to cooperate and collaborate for the understanding the climate and then understanding the value of water. So in this, while we are talking this, and then he cited the emphasis on experiential environmental education of water conservation. So it's not only read and write on the environmental education, but you have to in fact be with the phenomena and understand with the phenomena, and then understand what is the quality and quantity, how does that help in your body system. And then it's not only one country, like not only in India, but also it has to be integrated into India, Nepal, Bangladesh, whoever are there along the river stream who nurture with this river water and ice and mountain. So all these, how we can bring together, how we understand. So that was at that time discussion, and I am also moving along that line. I write blog quite frequently, and maybe I will share some of my blog also here in the chat. So these are the and embracing culture and tradition, because when we alienated with the science, sometimes we forget that what is the cultural stories, what is the tradition there. Just if you are a scientist, if you are educated, then the first thing I would suggest is to after your degree, just study your history and then ask questions, why that happened, why didn't that happen. So due to that, and then when you embrace that, and you become complete science, complete education there. And we talk about pollution and then water pollution only, but there is when you develop infrastructure, there is certain, you stop water percolation, and then that assessment, I don't think whether in technical term they are assessing that. And then in the future worlds, future science also has to deal with that. How much water flow impediment is there. So that has to be also accounted in terms of when we assess the environment into the environmental assessment. So there is I used to, when I was 9 years, there was I used to cite the verse that there is ancient algorithm that is said in Sanskrit, like Annam Brahma Raso Vishnu Bhukta Devo Maheshwara. So how do you decode that? If you decode that there is good food, perfect digestion, and pure water and nectar, then you assure your perfect health. So why can't we bring those kind of knowledge into the science and then integrate that? Because I came to this point, some of the students asked me that, okay, how do we make a living from our culture? How do we earn from our culture? If you have mantra, if you are meditating, then how do you make that instrumental to earn money? So I used to tell them that, okay, there is in mind body industry in USA, there's a $2 billion industry is there. So you can either produce that knowledge in terms of your earning, or you can teach people, you can earn by yourself. The social media these days is helping a lot to become an entrepreneur. So how you can be, how deep you can go to extract that knowledge. And there is a blog I talk about, and there is in the link, because when you talk about climate, it's basically to do with the human behavior. So how to change the human behavior is first, you need to change yourself. You have to change your household and your village, district, region, country, and you can change the world. But the threshold, the barrier is the challenge for a lot of people, including me and many other people, how to break that barrier of moving from house to village. So we are governed by selfish gene, and I, me, and mine. There is a greed and corruption going on, and we have our ego, gratify our ego. So all those, how do you balance that, and then to move forward, to make a change into the system, to make your village better, and then move forward. So this type of thing is not easy to say. There is not a definite answer to do that, but it needs a lot of passion, a lot of courage, a lot of understanding. The first thing is to understand, and one thing that we lack is we couldn't manifest what we thought. Like there is immense, diverse, infinite thought that we do during our meditation or whatever we do, but how to manifest that into action is a challenge. So there is a book I read that wrote by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. He talks about how to manifest that in action. It's not as simple to explain right now. I cannot give tell an easy solution to that, but there is a way out that when you are thinking, and then if you think one of the thought is important to you, and how to manifest that is you have to decide on your condition, based on your space, based on your institute or where you are working. So the thing is, what I would like to give emphasis is that meditation or yoga or whatever you do is not just traveling into the trance or in the atmosphere, in the universe, but how to bring that into the real world and how to manifest that, and is the key thing that that we have to learn, and we have to experience that. So I write along that line. I write blogs. There is a website you can go to. My website www.indagal.com, and I talk there about is biological intelligence is better than artificial intelligence. Small business to grow plant-based small business. There is immense knowledge within the plant community. We still have to know. There are only a fraction of things we know, but there are so much we need to know that I have talked about that. And 5 elements of consideration for a small business that I talk on that blog. And also 5 natural wisdom for responsible business, 5 small business challenges for immigrants, and 5 takeaways for start a small business. So these are the things here I talk about some wisdom and some scientific fact that come up with in the social media or internet. So once you have your traditional wisdom or cultural-based information, then you can generate your idea and then do action research. Action research is not just producing your document and then publishing the paper, but it is how this research is helping for the poor, helping for the people who need help. And then do that exercise and you can develop a prototype and look for investor or donor and bring that into the market. So that is the one way to go. That what I normally teach to the student here, and then also in some various talk programs. So at the end of my slide, I would like to say that it must be frozen, but it has to maintain a continuous perennial flow of what I'm talking about. Water is not art. This is my contact, and if there is anything you would like to know about what I am doing, and then you can always contact me through my website or my contacts. So thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I look forward, if there's any question, I'd be able to answer that. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dakal. That was an extremely informative and insightful presentation. And we really, really thank you for giving this to us. In closing this webinar, I wish to express my gratitude to all the panelists and participants for their full cooperation. It offers me a chance to commemorate our success in pursuing excellence in the field of science. We are privileged to have in attendance such distinguished experts, as well as observers, having such a resourceful and knowledgeable researchers who have helped us to gain such valuable insights about our climate. With this, we sum up our session. Wish everyone to stay home and safe. Thank you for joining, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day. Have a great night. Goodbye.
Thank you. Same to you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Everyone.
Bye.